Hey, what's up? Me and Meech are back here again.
Yet again.
Yes, for our to continue our top 100 Dragon Ball Z fight series. If you missed any other parts, they'll be in the description down below. We also have a playlist right on the channel. If you are confused at any points with our rankings, in our intro video, we do have a complete breakdown of all the different stats and what we look for to give it a plus or minus on our scale.
Yep. And what kind of each stat means and where it's at.
Yep. And without further ado, we bring you number 90, one of the newer fights. We have the Goku and Vegeta versus Whis training session in Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, or in the Dragon Ball Super Resurrection F arc. No, the way we did the Resurrection F and Beerus arc, we kind of took the both worlds what we want to work with, either from the movie or from the Dragon Ball Super.
Taking parts of each.
For almost everything in Resurrection F, I'm telling you right now, it's from the movie. The arc was kind of trash. Alright.
It really kind of was.
Alright, but...
Don't watch it, just watch the movie. You'll save time and you'll get a better understanding.
Yeah, watch the last episode in Super because of the explosion, pretty cool. But otherwise, get back to the thing. The consequences, another training session, so that brings it down to a 0. But in the movie, the presentation,
on point.
It looked really, really cool. The animation in Resurrection F is probably the best animation we've ever seen.
By far.
You could make arguments that Battle Gods may be better, but that's all up to you. But we thought it was beautiful. We gave it an 80 on our scale.
Highest.
Yeah, highest so far. Double some of them.
Triple some of them.
Yeah. Epicness only a 42, because again, this is Dragon Ball Z and we're 10-year-old boys. We want big explosions and people having their hair change color, and that didn't have that for us.
No, it was just a training session where Whis just kind of kicks their ass.
The only cool part that Super did add was that little flicker of blue in their hair that made it look like they're unlocking that new form. So I'll give that to Super right there. That's about all.
Yep, that's about it.
Uniqueness 28. Again, mostly punches, kicks. Whis is cool, but he was just moving super fast and kicking their ass, good old fashioned Roshi way back in Dragon Ball. So really cool to appreciate it.
Yep. And I don't know. I would classify like when Goku and Vegeta got put into Whis' staff in this as a training session.
Yeah, that's a different part though. That's just training. That's not really part of the fight.
Yeah, that's not part of the fight, but
yep.
I kind of would classify, and that was kind of unique. So
yeah,
that's
some
why
of the stuff and
that's why I got
Super added onto it. The pacing, I think we can all agree. We just want to see more.
Training is really cool.
Yeah, this is one of the few times in Dragon Ball that it was way too fast paced that we wish Super would have added on. Yeah, that's why the Resurrection F arc was so shit in Super, because it was way too fast. They didn't add on to any of the parts we wanted. Like this right here, this is one of the might have been the coolest training sequence in the whole series. That was beautifully animated, had a guy way stronger than the God of Destruction training against gods, and they completely dropped the ball.
They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was awful. It looked beautiful in the movie. We always want more, and we might be looking at Super because of that, but with still a really low grade there.
Yeah.
Which brings it to only 90. To 89, back to Dragon Ball Z, just a few arcs. We have Fat Boo versus Evil Boo. The little gray Boo you see when B gets shot, rip. But for our consequences, there are technically two villains going at it. So as far as the good guys are concerned, there's no big deal, so we gave it a 0.
Yep. And for presentation, it was pretty cool. It was kind of hyped up a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, we saw Boo getting split in half. That looked pretty cool. The setup was getting shot, and you saw Boo steam out of everywhere. The whole Boo was pretty hyped up, pretty high, especially by the Supreme Kai that thought he was going to destroy him way too easily. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Epicness, the only thing that really happened was a candy beam. So
I mean, a couple punches and then a candy beam.
Yeah, so 12. All right, no
12,
arguments
12
there.
Good enough.
But candy beam is unique. So uniqueness.
Never seen it before.
Yeah.
Another magic ability.
Yeah, 68. Look back in our first video. we said magic, very unique.
Yep.
That's one of the
Don't
things
see
we
it
look
a whole
for.
lot.
Yep. Pacing 45, slightly rushed, I'd say.
Yep. It just kind of happened. It was over with, and now we have the next villain for the.
Yeah, this was a lot like
Next 20
Kami and
episode.
Piccolo splitting in two. And that fight, they actually had a big drawn-out fight. They fought in the tournament. Kami was worried about the whole time, and they still had that feud going on until they fused together in the Cell arc. But this one, they just passed by. It's like Toriyama didn't feel like going there for that long. So that's why this gets another on the low end of the score.
Yeah, just a 45.
Yep. And
then
now,
88, we have in Dragon Ball Super, the Universe 6 tournament, we have Goku versus Botama.
Winnie the Pooh, if you guys are confused who this is.
The yellow dude.
Alright, so this is one. Alright, I believe this is our only tournament where we have any type of consequences in it. Because what's on stake is that Champa gets their Earth. We don't really know what that could mean. It looks like my point was that Champa looks more laid back, so it might be safer than Universe 7. But Mitch convinced me for 5 points here.
Yep. We only gave it 5 points for consequences. Nothing really bad is going to happen, we think, but still.
But you don't really know that, so we had to give it some for that. For presentation, 37. Out of all the Universe 6 characters, we can all agree that Botama was probably the ugliest one.
Yeah.
The animation was still a bit clunky still.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool how they showed the energy being transferred into another dimension from Goku.
Yeah, that we'll get to in a minute with our uniqueness. Epicness, 15. You're telling me a god character that's gonna chill around in his base form and then use his grab move and just throw him out of the ring to win?
I mean,
okay.
I guess he did that, but it wasn't epic at all.
Yeah, so that's why we gave that a 15. Uniqueness, though, almost
very unique.
every single character in Universe 6, they might not be that strong,
They were
but
very unique.
their abilities were really out of this world. Toriyama really put his mind into that. Uniqueness, we get all the way up to a 76. Botama's ability to distribute damage to another dimension, according to Jacko, it's extraordinary. We don't know the limits to that. It might just be Goku powers up a 10th more power, can just punch a hole through him. But from what we see on a face value, it's really strong.
Yep.
For a pacing, 57, slightly above average. It could have been better, but the strength difference that we saw, it made sense. But it either felt too fast or too slow. It's really hard. If Botama was so weak, yeah.
We kind of called it a average-ish fight.
Yeah. Alright, back up to 87. We have Goku versus Legic in Dragon Ball GT. Alright, for consequences, 21. Mostly because we didn't know how strong Legic was, but we're still fairly sure Goku could handle him fairly well because they hyped
Fairly
Goku up.
easily.
Yeah, the whole time.
Goku can kick shit in GT.
Yep, Goku wasn't even trying. You know he has Super Saiyan 3, and I believe in this fight he only uses the Super Saiyan 1 form and just absolutely demolishes him. He's in his base form for the majority of the fight.
So, I mean, there's some consequences possibly going to happen, but not really.
Yeah. For presentation, GT, for the most part, was a little step above Z, I would say.
For the animation, I would say.
Yeah. So we gave it a 58. It looked alright. The way they did it looked pretty cool. Epicness, again, usually when Goku's holding back, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be very epic.
No.
So we dropped that down to a 31. Uniqueness,
I mean,
kinda.
no, it wasn't very unique.
Yeah, about the same.
Could have been better.
Yep, a Kirby Puck at 34. And a pacing, almost average, right back at 48. And we're getting closer and closer to the average fights. And going right back up, and we go to 86, and we have Ginyu and Goku's body versus Krillin and Gohan. What do you say about this one, Mitch?
I don't know. I like this fight a lot and whatnot. The consequences, there was some, but we quickly learned that Ginyu wasn't that strong in Goku's body because you have to learn the body and whatnot.
Yeah, and at the point, we don't know that how much stronger Vegeta got. So if Ginyu figures it out, it could be big trouble for him. So we gave it a 30, so slightly above average in the consequences. I really like this fight for the point it gave it to Gohan's character. Because the whole time he didn't want to fight because of his dad. And then Krillin got him to, and Goku yelling at him, and Ginyu's body got him to snap out of it a little bit. Starting to really a growing up moment that we saw in the development of Gohan throughout the early parts of Z. But for the presentation, we give it a 42.
Just below average.
Yeah, nothing too special. The build-up wasn't really there, but nothing awful to talk about it. Epicness was by far the worst part of this fight.
Oh,
nothing
trash.
Yeah, nothing cool happened during the whole fight.
I mean,
but
we gave it an 11.
Where this really, really got up on our list, I probably wouldn't have made the list if this wasn't this high.
Oh, it wouldn't have.
Uniqueness 91. I know what you're saying. Jado Z at 91. That's a legend.
Awesomely unique.
Yeah, but think about it. We see a villain in our hero's body that we've had this whole series fighting his son and his best friend. How is that not unique? Yeah, the whole time they're fighting it out. You got that big character clash with Gohan. We haven't seen that before. That's a really crazy thing. And Ginyu himself is very unique. Anything to add, Mitch?
Well, I think some of this uniqueness comes from the introduction that the person's body is not theirs and they're just using it. So, because like Ginyu wasn't used to Goku's body, that's why he was very weak in Goku's body. Like Vegeta can actually kick his ass pretty easily. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Although Dragon Ball Super once again contradicted that when Ginyu took to Gohan's body and for some reason made him stronger, but another fuck up for you, Super. All right.
Oh well.
And another thing that's fairly below average at 25 is the pacing.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit slow. Another part, the Namek Saga in general was really dragged on, especially in Z. Kai fixed a lot of the problems, but this one was still very slow in Kai.
Yep.
But you know what's
too long?
You know what else moves slow? Molecules, especially when they're solid, like Ice Shenron. With Goku and GT, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku shows himself right here. The consequences right here is a 20. Mostly because we're pretty sure Goku will be able to beat his ass.
Because Goku's kicked the rest of the Shenron's asses.
Yeah, GT Goku time. We'll be able to destroy it pretty easy. But, again, we're still not sure how strong he's going to be, but we're still pretty sure our boy Goku will be able to destroy him. Yeah. Presentation, we gave it a 44. The ice looked kind of cool, but nothing special. So slightly below average. Epicness 31. Probably the lowest epicness that we'll see of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He usually does really cool stuff. But this one, he really didn't do much.
He just kind of ended up getting blinded, and then he just had to fight through it, was kind of the end up of this fight.
Yep, and the blindness gives us 8 over average, and uniqueness at 58.
Yep, I mean...
The really only good thing was what Mitch said, the Helen Keller disease. Alright, and a lot like Dragon Ball and G and GT, the pacing's not the best, a little bit dragged on, but not too bad, only a 48 in pacing. So the next one, Mitch.
We got 48, and we're going to the future in our time machine on this one, and we're going to do Trunks and Gohan versus future androids 17 and 18.
Yep, one of the most dismal fights we've seen, the whole timeline for Trunks. Very sad. Consequences, we have it a 50. The first really important fight we've seen so far on our list. If Trunks or Gohan die, Trunks is destroyed.
Yeah, Trunks doesn't have anyone to protect him. Doesn't have anyone to train him to Super Saiyan.
Yep, and a big point of this is that they're the only ones there, and the androids are stronger than them by a decent amount already. In the manga, I believe that the Android 17 study wasn't even using half his power versus Gohan, which not sure how much that really makes sense. Cause that means Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would still lose, but whatever. But either way, it's still a big power gap there. He might have just been being a cocky ass bastard, whatever way you want to interpret that. Otherwise, presentation 46.
Just below average.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Just
they were in an amusement park.
Yeah,
that was kind of a little bit weird.
Yeah, the setup wasn't really there, but again, not bad. Very 80s, 90s animation, but the epicness 24. Not much really happened.
It wasn't epic at all.
Yeah, as much as I love the Trunks special, the fights weren't that amazing.
They were just
they're meaningful. There. They were meaningful. Yeah, I'll give you that. But no big. The epic moment in the Trunks special was Trunks turning Super Saiyan at the end. That was one of the most emotional scenes in the whole series, but it wasn't in a fight.
And that was pretty much it.
Yep. Uniqueness again very low at 29.
Just punches and some energy blasts.
Yep. The only thing that stopped it from being even lower was it was a team fight, which is pretty rare in Dragon Ball.
Yep.
And pacing, we gave it a slightly above average 52. As nothing really wrong with it. Could have been a little bit better. But as far as what they tried to show us, I think it did a very good job on that.
Yep. And for the Trunks special, they had to fit it in pretty quick.
Yep.
And for 83, we have... This is another tournament fight. We have 18 versus the Mighty Mask.
Yep. This fight, that'd be another tournament. Doesn't have very high consequences. Yeah, I know where I'm going with this. It'd be a trend for a little bit. 0, as Mitch just said. The presentation looks pretty cool, though. Not amazing, but a 55.
It works.
42 for epic. The trend here is average. It's probably one of the most average fights across the board.
Except for consequences.
If it had any type of consequences,
it would be average.
Yep. Another 55 for uniqueness and 50 for pacing. So almost about as average as it can get. Just slightly above average in total. But anything to add to this one, Mitch?
Average in total.
Yeah, slightly below.
Below, yeah.
So what do you want to say about the fight in general, Mitch?
I mean, the reason that it ended up just a little bit above average in uniqueness is it was kind of introducing the Trunks and Goten fusion idea and whatnot, and having them both in the Mighty Mask body.
Yeah, it really is a... Not sure if Toriyama even came up with the idea when he made the tournament, but it can really looked at as a little...
kind of teaser.
Yeah, right there for Gotenks. So pretty cool. We don't know if it was an accident for Toriyama, but we'll give it to him. Alright, 82. We go into maybe one of my favorite movies, probably my favorite of the original 13
The
Dragon
one that
Ball
gave
Z
us
movies.
the best card and Dokkan battle.
Yes, but this fight only has card number, I believe, 6 on my Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle Top 10 list. Please watch it. And...
link will be in the description.
If I can even upload it. Alright. It is Super Janemba vs. Vegeta.
This is just after Super Saiyan 3 Goku got his ass handed to him.
Yep. Again, like I said, we have a little trend here. The consequences is 0. I'll tell you why. Vegeta, doesn't stand a chance. Because we saw Super Saiyan 3 Goku get his ass beat. This is happening in Hell. And
Vegeta is dead. He has a halo over his head.
Yep. So I guess you can make an argument that Vegeta could lose his body forever, but it's a movie, so it's not really gonna happen. And the only other part, there is a gap between Hell and Earth in that video, and we know Gohan during that movie should still be stronger than Goku at Super Saiyan 3, so he could probably handle him. Because Super Janemba is about the same strength as Super Buu, and you guys saw what Ultimate Gohan did to Buu.
Trashed him.
Yep, enough rambling. Let's go to the second part. Presentation 63.
Above average.
A solid presentation. All of Janemba's effects look really cool. Again, movie, no build up for the main villain. You can't really do that in a movie.
Yep.
But nevertheless, it does affect it a little bit.
Yep, but again, it's a movie, so it has a little bit better presentation than average because they probably did have a higher budget to do it.
And for the epicness, one of the lowest epicness that Vegeta's involved in.
Because he overall is an epic character, in my opinion.
At looking at you, Vegeta fanboy, in the comment section, this one's for you.
Just for you.
But this only an average epicness for Vegeta, right at 50. Don't dislike this video quite yet. We have some more coming up for you. But a very average epicness, because as much as we all love Vegeta, he didn't really do much in this fight. Got his ass handed to him, and guys choked out, slammed to the ground through Janemba's jelly beans or whatever. Yeah, we're floating around hell.
And that was pretty much the end of that.
Yep. But just like everything with Janemba in the whole movie was very unique. Very high 80 on the unique scale.
Second highest so far.
Yes, sir. The 80. Janemba's abilities, we saw him right before this make a sword out of a rock.
No, it was a club from one of
the
Hell's Gatekeepers or whatever.
Yep. And then he could stretch his arm to do his whole distortion of time and stuff. Really, really cool.
And where he like teleports by changing his body into blocks.
Yep, really, really cool. So, a high 80 there. The pacing was 10 because
Trash.
Yeah, that brought it down some because it felt like it could have been a little bit shorter because Janemba trashed him so fast. But
kept getting dragged on and on.
Yeah, he was just throwing him through more jelly beans until he pretty much passed out and Goku saved him.
Goku literally carried him away.
Yep. And now to 81.
And at the end of this video,
a good heads up, Mitch, we have the Fat Boo versus Deborah fight.
Yep.
Again, zero consequences. Villain versus villain equals.
No consequences. I mean, they're just fighting.
Yep, that's all that said. Another big old 0. Presentation 63. Both of these characters were fairly well built up. You saw Deborah fight evenly with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and that looked pretty cool. The Boo Saga had pretty solid animation for the most part, and the music was really good.
They were always building up to Boo and whatnot.
Yep.
He ended up being a little bit of a letdown when he turned out to be Fat Boo, but
yeah,
he was still really strong.
The power, nevertheless, was really cool.
Yep.
The epicness was 36.
One punch.
Yeah, not much really happened.
That's all it was, yeah.
Uniqueness is fairly above average at 52, which is a little bit disappointing, as these are two really unique characters, but didn't really do much in this fight.
Yep. If I remember correctly, Fat Boo just turned Deborah into a cookie and just ate him.
Yeah.
Kind of the intro of his power to turn people into food and eat them.
Yep, I wonder...
It's only the real reason.
I really wonder if Deborah spit on Boo, if he could just rip that part off that's turning to stone and regrow it. I wish it would have worked with that, because that had so much potential to be a cooler fight.
That would have been really interesting. I haven't really thought about that before.
Like maybe Deborah does his flame and it like bubbles Boo or something. Whatever his
burns him.
Yeah, whatever he's made out of. If it's bubblegum, like Vegeta said it was. 54 for the pacing. That's another pretty average fight. If I didn't have 0 for the consequences, but another average fight. 54 for the pacing. Did pretty good. We might have wanted to see it longer, is the only thing.
Yeah, that would be the only thing.
Yep. But we're almost up to the 50% grades. Soon we will begin to the average fights, so stay tuned for more Dragon Ball Z Top 100 Fights with Jado Z and
Meech Anderson.
See ya!